Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome to a special Friday the 13th version of Friday Night Frostpunk. And a very special stream. It is the first stream or I've made affiliate. So, awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you. So what that means is there will be ads now, but they're still going to happen. They're going to happen once every hour when I normally would take a break anyway. So it should be all the same, but we'll see how it goes. I'm still learning how to do it since this is, like I said, the very first stream where I'm doing it. Oh, but as always, let me make sure everything is working. Say hi to myself. Hello, me. Make sure everything is working. Say hi to myself. Hello, me. Oh, right back at you, buddy. Oh, look at that. See, new to me. Pre-roll ads are disabled for 32 minutes. All right. So, let's do this. Yeah. Well, let's get started then. Since now I feel like we're kind of on a timer here. All right, so let's get this started. So we're going to do a Utopia. Today we're going to do the pit. I mean, it's a brand new map. I feel like I haven't used it enough. Oh. I don't know why that popped up. Hello, stream. Now you see my AMD stuff there. All right, so let's do the pit. As always, I don't know why we do it to ourselves, but we'll do Stewart. We're going to develop the Metropolis because I want to do the Beacon of Hope. I really want to try to get this Beacon of Hope. As always, okay, so I always do random communities. I want to have the foragers and machinists. This time, I'm going to actually select it. I really want to try to, actually work this. Make this work, I guess I should say. All right. So I think this looks good. Stewart, develop a metropolis, foragers and merchants, or foragers and machinists, and the Beacon of Hope. Let's do this. Let's do it. Do it. All right. A different beginning, as always. In a forgotten corner of the Frostland, 3 separate peoples found an unclaimed generator and made it their common home. The Foragers, natural survivalists adapted to the harsh Frostland conditions. The Machinists, descendants of groups that built the initial cities and maintained their machinery. And our mystery one, the Laborers, factory workers and manual laborers who learned you must toil together to survive. Together, they chose you to lead their city, their dream to develop a sprawling metropolis in this place, a safe haven for all humanity. All right. Let's do this. We got this. We got this tonight. We got this. All right. Zip it. Tales from the Frostland. Before we can fulfill our ambition, we need to end this tale. Beacon of Hope. Build the beacon outpost and prepare to receive the waves of refugees that will flock to it. Be aware that there will be many sick and injured among each wave. All right, let's pause. So I think one of the things we're going to do this time is we're really going to try to research housing for the housing districts early, so that we have something to build. And I guess we really do need to get hospitals going very quickly. We want to get to that oil down there. All right. So let's see where everything is. So we need to get to the coal here, first and foremost. So let's frost break to the coal. Yep, that's good. And then we'll do a second one for everything else. Now we have access here. We have access up here. But if we go down this way, we'll have materials and coal. Maybe. Okay. Well, we'll need both anyway. So yeah, let's go. Usually on this map, I always go to this outpost, this way station. This time, we're going to just try something different, because why do the same thing over and over? We'll go to this one. And so, we're going to try to hit up these materials and these, those coal deposits. So we'll do this. We'll get to the materials first, then we'll frost break to the coal, and then we'll get to the way station. Hey, Barney! Hello, good to see you. Ham's the man with the master plan. You know I am. Or at least I play one on TV, right? I'm doing good. How are you doing? How's everything going? Happy Friday the 13th. Oh yeah, let's frost break to the prefabs. We need those prefabs. Let's frost break to the food, because, you know, feeding people is always preferable. And then, let's build some housing districts. We want to start with 4. We will do 1, 2, 3, yeah, and then we'll do that. We'll build ourselves... Well, actually, let's also, before we run out of stuff, the council hall, we do want to start with that. Another housing district. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and that'll leave us 2 here. You know... Okay. Because I always go for the 4. Maybe we'll just do 1, 2, 3, and we'll leave 3 for them. I'm scared it's Friday the 13th after all. Not to mention that last night my PC's power supply burned out and I almost got an electric shock from the short circuit. Holy poops. Oh my god, I'm glad to hear that you're okay. Oh no. So obviously, first off, glad that you're okay. But what about your computer? I guess your computer's done, huh? That sucks. I'm sorry, man. Oof. I guess it could have been worse. Could have been worse, right? That's what you're supposed to think. But the computer... Oh, the humanity. Oh, no, wait, pause. Alright, so we're actually going to have to frost break to get our final district there. So... we're going to want to do... Yeah, that's good. Alright, I think that's a good start right there. Let's unpause it. Oof. Man. Was it an old computer? Is that what happened? I hope it was, because since it sounds like it's done, I hope you didn't lose something brand new on that one. Alright. I think we're good. Alright, we got our first council session. I hope I was blessed. And the power supply sacrificed itself for everything. Even because I unplugged it when I heard the cable crackling. Now I'll have to buy a new power supply. Oh, well, so just the power supply got messed up in the computer then, right? So you didn't lose the whole computer. This power supply, I mean... Sucks to get a new power supply, but getting a whole new computer. Good thing you heard the crackling and got it unplugged. listen to me trying to find the positive in things. God, I say this every Friday night Frostpunk, but I'm always like, I should do something different than basic necessities to begin. I just don't want to. I mean, it's just such a good law to start with. Yeah, paid essentials. The laborers won't like it, but we're gonna do it. All right, anybody out there on Twitch who wants to vote, now's your chance. Go for it. And if you enable the Frostpunk 2 Twitch companion, you should be able to vote on these laws. Now, we are going to have to negotiate it. So let's take a look at the machinists. Oh, enact chemical additives. Oh, chemical additives, yeah. I was actually kind of hoping to not do that. Yeah, I would kind of like foraged additives. You know, we'll do this because they don't like this law. Oh, no. It was the laborers that didn't like it. It could be worse. At first I thought it was the socket. If it was in fact the socket, I would be screwed. I'd have to change all the electrical equipment in the house. Yeah, oof. So that's true. See, you're looking for the bright side too. It could be worse. Alright, we'll do foraged additives for these guys. Now I think we're good. So I think we're going to go to the vote. So anybody on Twitch who wants to vote, now's your chance. Going once. Going twice. Alright, here we go. Alright, we got it.
The delegates have spoken. The law takes effect.
Alright, we're really going to try to pay closer attention to this stuff tonight, too. So, got a little bit of merit. Oh, that frost breaking is done. You know, we're not going to have... So, I want to frost break that one piece right there. Alright. Wait, this happened yesterday after midnight, so... Friday the 13th made you the victim. Oh my god, you got like the first Friday the 13th bomb of the year. Oof. I'm sorry, my friend. I am sorry. Yikes. And what a way to get it. The power supply in your computer going F you bitty. Alright, let's get out to... Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I am sorry, Barney. That sucks, man. Alright, let's get some money. Man, get that thing out of my way. Get that thing out of my way. There we go. Let's expand this one. And let's expand this one. There we go. There's some good looking districts right there. So we're going to 5, 10, 15, and 20, 35. Look at that. And that's all the housing we need right there. Oh yeah, Friday the 13th will get you too. You'll have vegetarian bacon for dinner. That is funny you say that, because every morning I actually do have vegetarian bacon. So I make a kind of bacon, egg, and cheese every morning with 2 slices of wheat bread, some egg beaters, a fat-free cheese slice, and then I usually have either veggie bacon or turkey bacon. It's usually turkey bacon when the store is out of veggie bacon. And the real reason why I do it is because I eat this pretty much every single morning for breakfast. And so I was like, do I want to have... Because I have meat probably for every single lunch and dinner. I'm like, I should probably have at least one meal a day that I don't have meat. So I do have veggie bacon. It's not bad. It's not bad on as like it's not bad when you have it on something. So like the sandwich, it's not really great if you're gonna like just straight up eat it. It's not really great. It's not bad. It just kind of tastes like nothing. So I do have veggie bacon. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? The coal. We need to frost break. You know, okay. So this coal up here makes us have massive demands for materials. Maybe to start, before we have everything up and running, we do this. We do it out here. Less materials. Lastly, we need to get the food. We need to get food going.
The price of gruel has been reduced. This week only.
2, 3, 1. And let's frost break this piece. Okay. The moment plain bread tastes better than your food, there's something wrong. You got me on that one. Touche, my friend. Touche. Because yeah, the bread does taste better than the bacon. But hey, it works. I find though a lot of those like veggie substitutes for things, like they're so super processed. It's like, is it really healthier? You know what I mean? So I always kind of find it funny too, like all this like veggie stuff. Like my wife and I, a couple years ago, we tried going vegan for 3 months just to see what it was like. And I will say, like, it wasn't bad. I didn't like hate it, but we ended up eating so many of those like veggie substitutes for things that I don't like. I think I was actually eating worse as a vegan because of all the processed stuff I was eating. Now I know there is a way to be vegan not like that, but it just seemed like a lot of work. But it was some good food, I have to say. All of the like vegan substitutes for stuff actually were fine. But, you know, not something I wanted to continue doing. Alright, let's do these forged additives because we made a promise and we keep our word. But, so the vote is open to Twitch right now. We have 43-4, so we're just going to let this one slide and go. So, anybody on Twitch who wants to vote, now's your chance. Going once, going twice. Let's do it.
The eyes have it.
The eyes have it. Alright. So we get a little bit more food. We're getting 16 food. Alright, we got this going. It's not enough, though.
Take note. A new rule enters into force.
Alright, so now let's get to the logistics bay. Let's get some more money. Ooh. Cutthroat economy. Stuart, now that we are charging for essentials, some unemployed families are unable to afford basic necessities. Work goes to the worthiest. If these people were passed up, it's their own damn fault. They should put in the work instead of expecting the city to solve their problems, claimed one machinist delegate. Others are more measured. and say we could provide them with a weekly allowance. If we can't offer them work, we'll give them a budget. Up to them to use it wisely. No, we'll keep it going. I mean, we need it. Changing the subject, I wanted to thank you. I don't have English as my native language, so listening to you speak is helping me understand a lot. Although I need a translator to write, I can hear well. Oh my god, that's awesome! I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad it's helping. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that my stream is helping you learn English. I feel honored. Really. That's awesome. I wish I could do something like that. I've heard from a lot of people that like people learn like English from like American television shows and like that. Like I knew some people in college that actually told me that like they learned English by watching the show Friends, and so Friends was like one of their favorite shows. I wish I could just like watch something and like learn a language. I don't know what it is with me and languages, but I'm just so bad at it, you know? I wish I wasn't. But I am. Oh, materials. We need a materials district. We need 150 prefabs. Damn. Okay. But that's awesome. Thank you. Actually, we'll see. We might go for materials, but we got to see if this is going to cover our coal needs. A little bit. We might need to, like... Alright, yeah, let's do that. Before we go for this, like, materials heavy demand coal area, we definitely need to get a materials district going. In my case, American English is clear. British English has a strange emphasis in some parts. A little, yeah. You know, I saw this this interesting interview with with Tom Holland, and he was talking about the difference between British actors doing an American accent as opposed to American actors doing a British accent, and it was really fascinating. And and let me read through this, and then we'll talk about it. Stuart, we have received multiple complaints from citizens that their districts have grown colder of late. Everyone keeps coming to me to complain, but there ain't much I can do. Last I checked, it's the Stuart who's supposed to keep us warm, complained a furnace technician. The cold is a serious concern for our citizens. We ought to take action. You know, I mean, we don't need to look at the heat distribution. So yeah, he talked about how it's easier for British actors to do an American accent than American actors to do a British accent, and he said the reason is because the American accent, speaking English, is a lot lazier, I guess is the best way to describe it, than the British accent, because you have to like enunciate so many more letters. And so he said it's very easy for a British actor to do an American accent because you just kind of relax your jaw a lot. But in an American actor doing a British accent, he says like by the end of the day, he's heard his colleagues say like their jaw is sore because you just have to enunciate things so much more. So yeah, maybe that's why American English is a little clearer because although I guess what I'm describing would mean it's less clear, because if you're enunciating more, I don't know. But I know what you mean. Like, I hate to say it, because it's such a cliched thing, but like, I speak English, and yet it is very difficult to understand, like, some Scottish accents. I mean, it's difficult to understand some British accents, for that matter, but there are, like, other, like, English-speaking accents that I'm like, I have no idea what was said there.
Ended. The council sits again.
Alright. What do we do? actually here, yeah, I would like the machinist like this. I would like to get a small amount of prefabs from the main district. Do we need to negotiate this? We only need 16 votes out of the 39. I think I'm going to let this one slide. I say slide. I'm going to let this one roll. Because if it fails, I don't mind so much. So we're gonna vote on this one right now. So anybody on Twitch who wants to vote now has a chance. Going once, going twice. Let's go. Yeah, like Americans say water, but Brits often say water, like a small bottle of water. Yeah, this is true. And you know, it's funny because my wife always makes fun of me because, well, she's from a different part of the country than I am. And where I'm from, like the way I say water is water. How is it that I say it? Water.
A law has passed in the council.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm thinking of a different word. It's milk. 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 I say milk. Kind of like M-E-L-K. Milk. That's kind of how I pronounce it. Like if I'm not thinking about it. And it's supposed to be milk. So... never mind. I was thinking of a completely different word. Oh yeah, let's expand the food districts. Because we need to. Let's... we're still not good with coal, so we are going to have to build the coal district here, even though we don't have the materials district up. Oh, we can't. I didn't finish. Damn, I didn't finish frostbreaking everything. Because I was like, oh, we're not going to build it here. Why would I keep frostbreaking? I'm an idiot. Oh, hello, Delicious. Hello, Delicious. Welcome in, welcome in. I remember going on a trip to London in the 10th grade, and some guy asked for a bottle of waiter. That's the person who works at restaurants. The guy understood what he meant, though, probably because we were all buying water. We're not native English speakers, though, just a story from when we went to England. Yeah. I know, the English have an interesting pronunciation of things, right? I hate it too when people say certain British things with a British accent for no reason. Like, I'm very into soccer. And so the term in England when two teams from the same city play each other is a derby, right? Or a derby. And I hate it when, like, Americans say derby. Because, yes, when you hear the British speak, they say it's a derby. But they say derby because they're speaking with a British accent. The word is derby. It's a derby. It's a derby match. I hate it when I hear non-British people, like, i.e. Americans, say a random word with an accent for no reason. Cindy's pawn got her a governess, like she's going to be a duchess or something. Not on our watch. We roughed up the little bitch, all right. Ferguson's boys will learn this too. If they're trying to wife us again tonight, we'll pull razors and say we'll cut out their eyes. It'll be good fun. But what we want is a proper rumble. Short blades only. Come on, who wants to play? The lack of law regulating childhood is causing tension to rise. Where I live, there are several different accents depending on the region, and that's the same in the U.S., right? Yeah. I know the southern accent, but are there other characteristic accents? Absolutely. So yes, the southern accent, though even the southern accent, Texans have a much different accent than the American South, which is like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. Louisiana even has a different accent, but like the New England area, so like the Boston accent is very distinctive. It's like a ka. Like I guess it's the R, right? And this is like the stereotype of the accent, you know, the word ka. But it is kind of like that. You don't fully pronounce the R. And then there's like a California accent, a Californian accent. There's many of them. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. I am doing well. I just recently made affiliate here on Twitch. This is actually my first stream as an affiliate. So I'm trying to figure it all out. We'll see how it goes. The whole ad thing. I don't quite get everything yet, but we'll see. So I'm doing well. It's a dar buy. Yeah, exactly. I hate that. It's a derby. Unless you're British, then it's a derby, right? Irish accent is very nice, I feel. Scottish is very hard to understand, as well as some English ones. I was just saying, yeah, the Scottish one. The Irish accent just sounds cool, though. That one does sound cool. I love an Irish accent. My wife's family, like generations ago, were from Ireland. Not that far away, though. But I always joke with her that I only married her so that my kids could be Irish, or part Irish. I'm from Portugal, a very small country, and even here we notice accents a lot from Porto to Lisbon. Oh, interesting. And we're 300 kilometers away. Can't even imagine a country like the USA, which is enormous. Yeah, the United States is massive. I don't think people... And I say, I don't think people, and this includes even Americans, realize or maybe forget just how land-wise, how massive we are, and even population-wise. So there's just a lot. Wow, Gratz, thank you very much. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just joined as you were talking about the Scottish accent. Oh, okay, yeah, good. So you heard that. Yeah. Yeah, I find accents to be so fascinating. And I think maybe I find them to be so fascinating because they're things I just cannot get, right? Like, I studied French for a long period of time in my life. And there was a period of time, not right now, not anymore, but I was not very. I was pretty good at the vocabulary and the written language, but the spoken language, I could never get my mouth to wrap around the French accent. It was just something my mouth could not do. So I love accents. I find them interesting, but I'm also awful at them. All right, here we go. This will solve our heat problems. You have states nearly the size of Europe or Russia. It's insane. Yeah, I was just talking about this on a stream the other night. I found this fascinating. If you put a map of the United States over Europe, Los Angeles is in like Ireland, and New York is like in Russia. Like, the United States spans pretty much the entirety of Europe. And I find this very, very interesting. The city of Atlanta, which is in the state of Georgia, if you put the map of the United States over Europe, the city of Atlanta falls in the country of Georgia, which is just kind of an interesting coincidence. Stuart, 5 children are dead and dozens lay wounded after 2 large youth gangs met for what they called a rumble. Most of the children were armed with knives. The fighting escalated to a full-scale battle. As the parents of the deceased mourn, many insist these children should not have been left unattended. Indeed, many backseat alleys seem to be overtaken by uncared for youth. Some areas are beginning to be dangerous even for adults. Yeah, I agree. Let's commit to this. And we can vote on it now, actually. Oh, French ain't easy. Quite a hard language to learn, to be honest. Oof. Yeah, I know. I studied for 7 years. I don't know it. There are some expressions that I didn't understand, like, let's kick it up a notch. Oh, like American expressions? Yeah, let's kick it up a notch. Like, yeah, let's, like, put it in another gear. Or, like, let's take it to the next level, right? Something like that. Alright, let's get these kids in order. Nobody cares either way, so we're going to go with family apprenticeship. All right, so anybody out there on Twitch who wants to vote, now you can vote. We are going to negotiate this one, though. We're going to need to do something. In Portugal, we learned French from 7th to 9th grade. Oh, interesting. Actually, we can choose between it and like German, I think. But basically, everyone picks French. It's tough, to be honest. Yeah, starting in middle school, here in the United States, you get to choose a foreign language. And so for us, it's French or Spanish. And I think majority of people just pick Spanish because there's so many Spanish speakers, and it makes sense. I would love to know Spanish, but I'm also Algerian. And so I picked French because I was like, oh, I might be able to speak at least a little bit with my family. And still didn't work because I didn't learn French. When I got to high school, they added in Latin. You could take Latin, which I found interesting. I was like, I can't learn Arabic, but we can learn Latin, which is essentially a dead language. I mean, I get why you would learn Latin, because it's the basis for so many languages, but I just was like, I would like to be able to learn Arabic. All right, so we might do expedition support. Okay, maybe not that. Let's see what the labor is like. Heated commons. Supported quarantine. Shelter demand is increased. We don't want to do that. I guess we'll go with this one. We can do... we can do durable goods, actually. We'll do durable goods. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to go to vote. So anybody else on Twitch who wants to vote, going once, going twice. Here we go. Delicious, thank you so much for your vote. I appreciate the vote for. A curious question. What is the issue of swearing like in the U.S.? Here where I live, thanks to the wonders of the internet, sarcasm, children are speaking it early. So, wait, so what do you mean, what is the issue of swearing? Like, do you mean like do kids swear and stuff like that early here? Here in the U.S., I find it interesting. The other day, I heard on TV, I think it was the word bitch. I heard that on TV. And when I was a kid, I swear to God, you would never hear that word on TV. I feel like there's a lot of words that are kind of okay now. Actually, there was a late night show that was just doing this. It's very strange, the combinations of curses. So you can say the word ass on TV, but you can't say asshole, because ass is just directed towards a person, but an asshole is like a part of the body, like anatomy. So there's a lot of weird things like that in terms of TV and what you can and can't say. Portuguese and Spanish are kind of similar. We even jokingly say we speak Portunhol, which is a mix of Portuguese and Espanol. Funny enough, we have an easier time understand Spanish than they do Portuguese. We consume a lot of Spanish dub stuff growing up, though, especially animated series. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I know though, because when I was in college, my roommate was studying to be a Spanish teacher. So he knew Spanish and he was studying Spanish, and he wasn't like, his heritage wasn't Spanish speaking or anything. He was like of Irish descent. But he knew Spanish very well, and so that's what he was studying. Now, where I lived, there was a large Brazilian population, and so he started dating this Brazilian woman, and he told me how he basically just like very easily kind of taught himself Portuguese because of how similar it was to Spanish. Now, that being said, very obviously, he's very good with languages, unlike me. So he could teach himself something like that very quickly. But I found it interesting how close the languages are, that if you know one, you can kind of teach yourself the other. Stuart, a new count has revealed significant growth in our population in recent weeks. Some attribute the rise to an influx of settlers from the Frostland, others to births outnumbering deaths. Whatever the cause, we have adjusted our calculations of the city's needs to reflect the new numbers. Nowadays, I'm not sure how it is, though, but back in my time, a lot of animated series for kids were in Spanish. But nowadays, there's a lot more Portuguese dub. That's interesting. So they would air in Portugal in Spanish? I find that interesting. Wow. If you know Spanish or Portuguese, I think you can quite easily learn the other. Not surprised, especially if he is good at languages. Yeah, exactly. That is interesting. Although I say that, and like here in the United States, there are many Spanish language channels and a lot of shows that are in Spanish. And almost everything on TV here gets broadcast with like the alternate language track where it's all in Spanish. So I guess I shouldn't be so surprised that that would be the case there. All right, now we can build. Okay, hold on. Before we need the research institute. I mean, we actually also really need the logistics district. But no, we need to get. Yeah, see, that's why. Because yeah, that's not built. 90 years old, 90 summers. Well, winter's more like. I've had a good life, I guess. Well, I've had a life anyway. Not everyone in the old Queen's Hith crew can say the same. I'd always thought I'd be sharing my Liddy's grave, but now Pete's pressuring me to donate my body to the city. Apparently them doctors are using dead folks' skin to fix up frostbite or something. Can they leave me alone? Haven't I been through enough? The lack of law regulating funerals is causing tension to rise in the city. Has this game got any DLC since launch? Bought the version with the DLCs and played a few hours only. Need to get back into it. I love Frostpunk 1. Oh yeah, I highly recommend this game. So they very recently made a free content update. So they added like a whole bunch of mechanics to the game. There's like a new heat system and everything. But no DLCs, but they released like info on them. So in the fall, it's supposed to be the first DLC. I think it's called Spectrum. And then I think early next year, I think it's supposed to be, well, no, actually I think they just said 2026. There's supposed to be a second one. So there's supposed to be 2 DLCs coming. That being said, that original map also said that there's supposed to be a console launch in summer 2025, and there are yet to be a date announced for that. I feel like my camera is blurry. Hold on. This fixed it one time.
Recess has ended. The council.
Yeah, there we go. I think that fixed it. If I were to ask you something based on the stereotypes that come here, it would be like, hey, don't you work in a white office and live on the 24th floor of a $4,000 building in New York? And hey, if you mean hypothetically, if I lived in New York, what is it that you know, my friend? That is what everybody thinks of New York City, including other people in the United States, not in New York. You don't quite pay that much money for rent here, though it is very expensive and not that far off. Not the 24th floor, though. There are a lot of tall buildings, but actually, there is a city law. Most buildings, or at least most residential buildings, aren't taller than 6 floors. So most buildings aren't like that. Now, a lot of like luxury buildings, a lot of ones like in Midtown New York, Midtown Manhattan, they are very tall. But for the most part, the vast majority of apartment buildings actually don't go above 6 floors. So there is that. Saw they announced the next one for 2027. Yeah, the next game, Frostpunk 1886, they're going to remake the first one. I am psyched for that one. I think they're going to try to do something where it like connects much more to this game, even though this game like very much connects to it. But yeah, I'm really pumped for that one. That's nice. Back when I played Frostpunk 1 once and forgot about it, then got back and speed ran the DLCs, yeah, and the main game again. Such a nice game, and I'm not even into this type of games. 11-bit even released a game today, The Altars. Was that released today? I was just on Steam today, and I saw that it was released, because I've been waiting for that game to come out. And I was like, oh man, did I miss this? When did this come out? So it's good to know that it was just today, and I didn't actually miss it all that much. Yeah, that game looks cool. I want to try that one. I actually do, on Tuesdays, I do a run in Frostpunk 1 with the DLC The Last Autumn. Although I won't be on this Tuesday with it. But, yeah, I love Frostpunk 1. Yes, the mechanized sawmill. We are going to do that one. All right, we're going to vote on this now. So anybody else on Twitch who wants to vote, now's your chance. Going once, going twice. Here we go.
The delegates have spoken. The law takes...
Confirm if it's true, but I had heard that they were going to try to fill in part of the islands to resolve the real estate issue, like artificially increasing the islands. I haven't heard any current plan for that, but they've done that in the past. So the lower part of Manhattan is actually made of garbage. A long time ago, like 100 years ago or something like that. They actually extended the island by like packing it with garbage, basically. So I haven't heard any plans for it to happen now, but it has happened before. Alright, let's get our people housed here. Yeah, it launched today. Actually, what got me looking at Frostpunk again after seeing it was 11-bit. Yeah. Yeah, I want to try that game. That game looks really cool.
The temperatures will soon plummet.
Ooh.
Beware.
Alright, we need to research a coal mine. So that's going to be the first thing we research here. So... yeah, this will be what we do. The blasting coal mine. Was watching Lyric play it and seemed interesting. Although it was on and off because of the CS Major. Okay. See, what I don't get is... yeah, I know it's like a survival game. But from the trailers... see, I know it looks cool, but I don't know all the details yet. So I gotta sit down and, like, figure out what it's about. Even though I feel like I'm still going to end up buying it anyway, because I've been waiting for it for a while. Stuart, there was a shameful display during a wake yesterday. Some of the deceased's family wanted a traditional burial, while others complained about wasteful antics and said the body should be donated to further the city's healthcare. This could save people's lives, was answered with, I won't risk my father's soul. And as people got more heated, they eventually came to blows. In the aftermath of the fight, the body disappeared, and each side suspects the other foul play. Sadly, this is not an isolated incident. Maybe we need common rules to get everyone on the same page. Yeah, we will commit to solving that. We're going to need to. Speaking as a New Yorker, be honest, is the experience of living in New York good? I love it. I absolutely love it. I would never leave. For all the things that annoy you about the place, there's just so much I love about this city. I don't think people understand and quite get just how much of a community there is here. Like, I grew up in a suburb, and I lived on this one street my whole life, and there are people on that, and it's not a long street, not a lot of people on the street, and there are people on that street who I don't know, never met. You know, I've seen them around, but don't know anything about them. And yet, the building I'm living in right now, everybody on my floor, we all know each other. We're all very friendly with each other. I trust them enough that if I had an emergency, I would leave my kids with them. And so I don't think people quite understand that aspect of this city, that, like, we all kind of bound together and help each other. We get the reputation of, like, being a hard place where nobody cares about you, but I find that to be farther from the truth. We don't care about tourists, but we care about each other. It makes a really good job making you understand, although apparently it's a bit slow. Okay. See, I can deal with slow. Playing, like, city builders, you know, like paradox games and stuff like that. Sometimes games are just slow, right? So I can deal with that. To a point. There are some games that I've fallen off of because I'm like, I just can't. I can't with this one. Okay, when this is done, we need to go out and get some resources out in the Frostland. That's cool. In my case, my neighbor either doesn't like us, arguments in the past over parking the car, dogs, etc., or is indifferent to us. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Not everybody on my floor I'm cool with. Not everybody in this building. There are still personalities, you know? Yeah, slow doesn't necessarily make it bad. I love a lot of movies considered slow. For example, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Some movies are slow, but still like them, you know, if they're good. Yeah, thrillers that then ramp up. Exactly. Like, I'll take slow and you can, like, ease me into the story as long as there is eventually a payoff. Ooh, see, we want that coal right there. Where is our logistics bay? Oh, yeah, so this coal right here would be perfect. Okay, well, here we go. We can get some food. We do need that, so we'll send them out there. Oh, we never named the city. We gotta give it its usual name. Alright, so right now, like I said, this is my first stream as an affiliate. I told it don't do a lot of ads, just do them once every hour. That was the longest I can make it wait. So it's been about an hour. I want to make sure, because I usually do a break every hour just so I can go to the bathroom and get a drink. And I want to make sure it doesn't go to an ad while I'm playing. Oh, hey! Delicious, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. And you are my 50th follower. I finally hit the goal. So, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're the 50th one. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know how to tell when it's going to actually go to the commercial. I don't want it to go to a commercial while I'm playing. Well, so we'll see. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out somehow. Have you ever seen a child Macaulay Culkin wandering around lost on Christmas? Not lost on Christmas. You know, it's funny. A lot of people say my son looks like Macaulay Culkin. I've gotten that a couple times. And so I'm like, oh boy. I better never have a situation where we lose him somewhere. Because people are going to be like, oh my god, it really happened. Let's see. A new voice. Icebloods. I doubted we could sustain ourselves off this harsh land, yet here bellies are filled from foraging. I doubted merit could be rewarded and cherished within the city. I doubted children could still learn or revere their elders, yet here they tend dutifully to my needs. This made me realize what this city can become. The times of mere survival are gone. We must organize. A brighter tomorrow is within our reach. Icebloods form in support of forged additives, paid essentials, and family apprenticeship. Well, this is a lucky Friday the 13th, I guess. Yes, it is. A very lucky Friday the 13th. The number 13 is lucky to me. When I played soccer, that was my number. So for me, 13 has always been a lucky number, though Friday the 13th, is like a thing. So yeah, I guess today should be my lucky day. All right, so let me remind myself what we can get from these guys. I'm going to unlock lead volunteer explorations, community action. The Icebloods will lead volunteer teams into uncharted territories to explore them swiftly. I like that. And then good relations, we got hunting trips. We're going to kind of lean into these guys. I kind of like this. Yeah, I remember you saying you like soccer, but forgot to ask if you follow European soccer or football. I do. I am one of those rare Americans where I've been watching the game my entire life. Now, the sport is very, very popular here in the U.S., but I'm like one of the OG American fans. I like all the sport all around the world. The European game, the game here in North America. I follow as much of the South American soccer as well. So yeah, very in tune to it. Which by the way, Delicious, congratulations on your Nations League win. Very happy for you. Let's see. Oh, hey, Rob. Hello. Hey, yo. I know Aki personally, Barney. Hey, yo. Do you support any European teams specifically? Let's see. Any European? I have to say, as an Algerian, I hate and love the French team. I don't like them because of the history there, but at the same time, they're all North African and Sub-Saharan African. Mbappe is part Algerian, and yes, Zidane. I see there, Barney. For him, it's like Zidane 2006, Messi and Ronaldo's whole career. Listen to me. I will die on this hill. Zinedine Zidane is the best player to ever play the game. He just is. The best player to ever play the game is Zinedine Zidane. And I will die on that hill. The cast of yeah, and that was nice. Although it's a bit of a Mickey Mouse tournament, but we take those. Oh, yeah. That's only because it's new, right? Like, give it like 30 years. Once it's reached like a 30, 40 year mark, then it's going to be like, oh, that's just the Nations League, It's kind of the same thing here in North America. We have the CONCACAF Nations League, and it's kind of like, it's important just because I want to win it, but yeah, it's new. You must have enjoyed Mahrez at City. Let me tell you something about that. Obviously, as an Algerian, I absolutely love Mahrez. But I also absolutely hate Manchester City. I hate Manchester City. When he signed for Manchester City, that was like one of the saddest days of my life. I truly understood that line from Romeo and Juliet, my only love sprung from my only hate. I was like, really? All the teams you could have signed for, you had to sign for them. So basically, I rooted every Manchester City game, that Mahrez gets a hat trick and City loses 4-3. That's kind of how I dealt with that. I support Sporting, and we had an Algerian who was very much liked. Oh, Slimani, that's right. He played for Sporting. Oh, I love Slimani. Oh my God, I love that guy. He was so good.
Remind
He was so
hunters
good.
that there is no
You
honor
know,
in slaughter.
I don't know if you know about
Only
this,
kill what you need.
Delicious, but here in the United States, and actually I think in England too, so many people think the name of the club is Sporting Lisbon. And I have to say, for a long period of time in my life, I thought it was Sporting Lisbon as well, until finally, like, I was talking to a Portuguese person, and they were like, it's Sporting. It's not Sporting Lisbon. Stop saying that. I don't know if that's something that is known in Portugal, that that's what people outside of Portugal think, or at least in the United States. Honestly, Ham, do you expect anything from the three host countries in this next World Cup? Like, do you think the U.S. will do anything this time? I don't. I think we'll make it out of the group, and I think we'll get to the round of 16, and that's what we always do. I think that I think currently we have an issue with the national team. We have a clear lack of passion. We now have something people have been wanting for a long time. We have here we're gonna vote on funerals here. People for the longest time have been saying we need players on big teams and big leagues. We need this. We need, and now we do. And I think what we're seeing is now everybody is like, oh, we're too good for the U.S. national team. Look, our captain Christian Pulisic skipping out on the CONCACAF Gold Cup to rest for AC Milan, and I'm like, what's the point of you playing over there if it just means we're not going to have you for tournaments so you can rest, right? Like, I don't care about AC Milan. I don't care if you're rested. For why don't you take time off of your AC Milan season to rest up? And I think it shows a lack of passion, and so I'm just worried that this is not a coherent team. It's a team of individuals, and that's not a team that's going to do well. I know this is going to sound odd, but I would look out for Canada. Not to like do anything, but I bet Canada makes it out of the group. And Canada is one of those teams that's just like a scrappy wild card. You never know what's going to happen with them. Now, I'm not saying they're going to make like a deep tournament run or anything, but I think Canada is going to do much better than people think Canada is going to do. They're going to excel past their expectation, though not achieve greatness. We actually won another Nations League before, 2022, I think. Oh, did you guys? Oh, man. Okay. I forgot about that. And I still have forgotten about it. Sorry. It's nice to win, of course, but nothing beats the 2016 Euro. Yeah. Yeah. I bet. I mean, the Euro Cup is the Euro Cup. It's a great tournament. Our fans flip over when we're called Sporting Lisbon. Yes, I found that out. I found that one out. We'd rather be called just Sporting or Sporting Portugal. Sporting CP stands for Sporting Club de Portugal. Yeah, that's what I mean. After I had found out about this, I was like, wait, what? Because I heard the British commentator saying that my whole life, that it's Sporting Lisbon, and so I was like, wait, I've got to look this up. How is this? How have I not known about this my whole life? So yeah, I know about like Sporting Club de Portugal after looking that up. It makes sense because, to be honest, in terms of talent, this U.S. team is the best in recent years. It doesn't depend exclusively on Howard's and Dempsey's. But that is this team, though. That is this team. It's like Christian Pulisic and like Weston McKennie, and they don't play well. They don't play well on the national team. I would much rather. I think that generation with Tim Howard, Clint Dempsey, and Landon Donovan was the best generation we had. At least they played together, All right, let me see what I'm doing here. Let's lean into the Ice Bloods. So we'll do ceremonial funerals. I've just been like on a real angry kick about the U.S. national team recently. So you found the issue for me on this one. because I could just go off for a long period of time about this. Ooh, research the subsidized housing block. Actually, this is something we want to research, so we're going to do that. All right. Anybody else on Twitch who wants to vote? Now's your chance. Going once, going twice. Here we go. Canada, yes, they did. They did very well in the Copa America. Played a fair game with Argentina. I think that of the three, Canada will be the best. Yes, even better than Mexico, which finished with Javier Hernandez. I don't know what's going on with Mexico. Mexico is in free fall. I'm not expecting much from them. Which, as much as, like, there's a U.S.-Mexico rivalry, so I love seeing Mexico do poorly. But we also just generally, CONCACAF, we need a strong Mexico. We need a strong Mexico and United States for the whole region to be good. And I think right now, Mexico and the United States kind of suck. Stuart, you have been generous handing out promises to numerous groups. It's imperative that you see those promises fulfilled in time, or you risk people losing trust in your word. Consider calling an emergency session. All right, so we are going to take a quick break. So we're a little past an hour. Quick bathroom break. And then get another drink. And I will be right back. I'm going to try to figure out how this ad thing works, because I want to make sure it doesn't do it later. But yeah, so quick 60 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Oops. Let's see, what did I miss? Worst part of a growing national team is that you always have great players wasted at the start. Yeah. We felt that in Portugal. So many great players that didn't have a good team alongside them. Oh, yeah. And then generation after generation starts sprouting. Kind of like Norway at the moment. Yeah, Holland will most likely waste a lot of his career until Norway has more talent. But it takes time. Yeah, I'm afraid Holland is never really going to have a Norway team that like will match him. But I think he is going to be the catalyst that sparks the next generation of Norwegian players. But, you know, considering also where he is in his career, I mean, it might be a situation where, like, late in his career he gets somebody, but yeah, too bad for him because he's such a phenomenal player. Yes, let's harvest this. We need... Yeah, we're out of food. So what are we getting? We're getting 70 from that. And then what do we have over here? The husk of a machine remains in the snow, already picked clean of useful parts. Our scouts noted frozen oil around that remains of the fuel tank. A set of coordinates was carved roughly into the broken boilerplate. I think the U.S. team needs a kind of Captain America. You know, a captain with a war who lifts the fans, pulls the ears of the Milan star. Yes, and the Vane players. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That is absolutely what we need. We need somebody, because I don't think Pulisic is a good captain. I just don't. I don't think he is at all. And if he doesn't want to be, then he should just say that and let somebody else be the captain. Because not every good player is a good captain. They have some interesting players alongside him, like Odegaard. That's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, they have a decent team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they suck. But they're not going to, like... They're not going to be able to, like, in a World Cup, really take down any major team, unfortunately. And I think if it was a team of Holland's, the quality that Holland has, they would be able to. But Holland is a special player as well. Are we going for this? We kind of need to, right? So we got a bunch of research we got to do. Okay. Why don't we do this? Alright, so this will get us fed. We need to get materials under control here. So we almost have the mechanized sawmill. Then we need subsidized housing block. If we do that, then we're losing coal. So maybe yeah, let's do that. Christian Pulisic as captain is the classic. The best player is the captain. Yeah, phenomenon. And this is far from the truth. Star players tend to be vain. Captains need to be experienced and sensible. I couldn't agree with you more. I just absolutely agree with you on that one. I think what we've seen is that he's not a good captain. A good captain would not skip out on this tournament. And then he goes into a press conference, or not a press conference, an interview, and says, I told the coach, well, I can't play the tournament, but I can do the 2 friendlies before it. And the coach told me no. And I don't know why he said that. It's like, oh, you don't? Like, clearly those 2 friendlies are the warm-up matches for the tournament. Obviously he's only going to use the team that's going to the tournament. What good are you in those friendlies? Like, he doesn't even think about this tournament and that the team needs to be ready for the tournament. Like, to me, that is such a non-captain thing. I feel like it's expected for USA to have really good players in a few years' time. Apparently you guys are investing vast amounts of money and interest in the sport. The sport has been growing exponentially. When I was a kid, when I told people my favorite sport was soccer, like, people laughed at me. Like, actually made fun of me. They were like, oh, that's so dumb. I hate, the sport is so dumb. It's boring and it's slow. I hate that sport. And now all of them are Manchester City fans. So maybe you get my hate of Manchester City there. But in real terms, all of those people now, like, have a Premier League team that they like, right? It's crazy. And like I used to go to great lengths to be able to watch the sport here. Um, and now I can watch every single game of every single top league on a streaming service. It's just insane to me. Ouch, my finger, these fucking spindles. Mrs. Boss Lady keeps joking I'll fall asleep and get woken up by a prince. I don't get it. If a prince came near me, I'd rob him blind, then make him do the bloody spinning. But it's alright. Gonna beat my record today. Nice, strong yarn. Auntie Mabel says if I can weave, I can work with her at the mill. Beats freezing in the streets. Family apprenticeship promises a better future for the children of the city. To be honest, I agree with you guys, but it's always hard when there's no one close to Pulisic in status. That also plays a part. Players with higher status have a hard time accepting being captained. Although that is also on them, of course. I mean, captained by players with less experience and status. I get that. But at the same time, you're playing for your country. You're playing for your national team. There should be like a level of like honor in that. You shouldn't be skipping tournaments because you have to rest for your European season. And that has nothing to do with the status of everybody else around you. That has to do with what you see as the status of your national team. At least to me. He doesn't. I think he thinks that he's bigger than the national team. If that's how you feel, fine. But then don't play for us. Don't play for the national team. Don't show up when the World Cup is happening. Anybody can get excited for the World Cup. But if you can't get excited for the Gold Cup, then you don't deserve to be here for the World Cup, you know? Because it means you're not excited to play for the United States in the World Cup. You're just excited to play in the World Cup. And those are two very different things to me. Stuart, we see we're low on heat stamps. To prevent the city from grinding to a halt, the Icebloods have come forward with a potential solution. The city is right-skinned, Stuart. No one's got any funds to go around, one leader says. We say our best bet is to research salvaging factory. This would help us generate income over time. What should we do? Yeah, I mean, we do need that. We need the salvaging factory. What we really need right now are more Frostland teams. So I wonder... Well, let's get all the food here. We need another food thing. Let's expand this district. That'll get us 5. Oh, we need to research the subsidized housing block. So we'll build that. That'll get us the housing we need. Well, at least you'll be able to watch the entire event live. Are you planning to buy tickets and watch any of the games with your family? I want to go to one of the games live. I'm really torn right now because the final is going to be right next to me. The final is in my area. The World Cup final is going to be like in my backyard. How can I not go to it? But it's going to cost like thousands of dollars. Like right now we have the Club World Cup starting here. And the tickets, I don't know if I'm going to go to any of it. I would love to go, but I don't know if I actually can go to any of it. Because the tickets are so outrageously expensive that it's just like, it's completely restrictive. So when it comes to the World Cup itself, I'm like, I gotta go. There's no way I'm not gonna go. Like to the final, I mean. But I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do it. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to explain to my wife why we have no more money because I went to the World Cup final. But I have the exact opposite example of what you're saying. We have Marita, who is a Japanese player, and bro went to play for Japan while like half injured because he loves his national team so much. We even suspected he asked to be subbed off earlier in our game before traveling. Oh, I would give anything to have U.S. players that felt like that. Though I do totally understand your frustration with that.
Bundle up. It's getting colder.
It was kind of like, so I'm a New York Red Bulls fan. We had Tim Cahill for a period of time. And Cahill was still very much active with the Australian national team. And he would have to, like, he had to miss a lot of time because it took him, like, he had to leave earlier than most players usually would have to leave for an international break because it took him so long to fly back to Australia. And it was frustrating because he had to miss a lot of games because of Australia call-ups. But at the same time, I was like, I get it. Like, you can't expect a player to miss his national team just to play for your club. But it was very frustrating. Stuart, the Icebloods have started gathering for rallies supporting your rule, showing off frostbite scars and almost inhuman resistance to cold. They enthrall passersby with feats of strength and endurance. One of them stripped half naked and wrestled a bear with his bare hands. Cold and hard as steel, a man like that could survive anything, said an onlooker. What could we become if we cast away superficial gizmos and rely on inner strength? The Icebloods proclaim several things they believe will improve the city even further. Do you want to support them? So we have a vote for contributing workforce, which makes sense. But we have workforce. We don't have heat stamps. We actually really need some heat stamps. Oh wait, no, but we don't have enough teams for this right now. I actually think we should go heat stamps. So we'll get 2 heat stamps a week. Yeah, I mean, we could kind of use that. Well, I hate to go against chat vote, but this time we're going to go heat stamps. Pulisk is like, Milan and its city are in my heart. Italy is in my mind. And the United States of America are a country in North America that borders Canada and Mexico. Yep, it's exactly what it feels like right now. Unfortunately. Waning trust. Stuart, the people no longer trust you. If the situation doesn't improve, the council will demand a vote of confidence, disputing your leadership. If you fail that vote, it'll be the end of your rule. Some players like national team more than others. Ronaldo has been saying winning with Portugal is a feeling like no other because of being the national team. He has won, well, everything at club level. Yeah, I know, right? And that's the thing. I wish, like, and that's the thing. In Europe, there's a passion for your national team. There is no expectation that you would miss your national team games and a tournament, no less, for your club. But our players don't feel the same. The traffic. Yeah, Rob knows. Maybe cheaper to fly to Mexico and see a game, to be honest. It's so true. The entire tri-state area, which is New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, is just going to be gridlocked. We're going to be so gridlocked, California is going to be like, damn, that's a lot of traffic. Oh, Cahill, legend. Yeah, remember him from years ago. Yeah, and he was great for us, too. I loved him. We were kind of mad at Morita because he got injured, and we were in a really tight fight for the title. But it worked out in the end, thankfully. Okay, thankfully. But, oof. I understand why, as a fan, you'd be upset about that, though. That is taking your passion for your national team to an extreme, to, like, play injured for them. Ham, try doing the following. Honey, if we make it to the World Cup final, I'll sell my liver and we can go to Paris next year. Oh my god. I think my wife would be like, how about I just kill you and I sell your liver and keep 100% of the proceeds? I think that's what she would say. To be honest, Europe is also way smaller, and traveling from the league you play at your country is a piece of cake. That is very true. Traveling from Italy to USA for some games and back is harder. You even have to deal with jet lag. Not defending Pulisic, though. No, it's an excellent point you make, actually. Never actually thought about that, but you make a great point. You know, if you're like Jude Bellingham, you're playing for Real Madrid, you play for England, the travel, like technically you're playing in a foreign league, that travel is like nothing. So yeah, you make an excellent point. That might mean all the construction might finish by then. One would think, right? New York City is nothing without constant construction. All right, we need. Oh, do we have? Yeah. We need that mechanized sawmill. So we need 80 heat stamps. Let's shake somebody down here. So we'll get 220. Yes. So this will solve our problem right now. That might mean... Oh, no. I know for one, I'm not going anywhere that week. I'm definitely going to be out and about. If I can't go to the game, I will be at a bar. But I am going to that game. I mean, it's a bucket list item of mine to just go to the World Cup final in general. How am I not going to go when it's at MetLife Stadium? It's tough. It's a tough one. All right, you know what? What am I doing? We need as much housing as... Oh, 200 heat stamps. That's why I'm not doing it. Because I was going to wait for this to finish. All right, we need to pass some more laws. Let's do this one. Yeah, the ice one's like this. Warm housing districts generate heat stamps, so let's do that. We're going to need to do some negotiating on this, though. Oh, construct a building, a mechanized sawmill. We're literally building it right now. All right, so we're going to vote on this. So anybody on Twitch who wants to vote, now's your chance. Going once, going twice. Here we go. I mean, a kidney is also profitable. A giant stadium, right? Or as I used to call, well, I always called Giant Stadium MetroStars Stadium, because that was who played there, really. Even though I am a Giants fan. Ham telling his grandchildren how the 2026 World Cup final went. Then Aronson kicked the ball into the corner of the French goalkeeper's goal. It was 4-0 for the United States. It was magical. Yeah. So what you're saying is I'll be lying to my grandchildren. Happy lies to the grandkids. But yeah, regardless of the price of the tickets, I feel like it will it'll be pretty hard to get one, to be honest. The flowing of people wanting them, not only native but traveling from abroad. If I'm not mistaken, people from both countries in the final have a share of the tickets. Yeah, it's going to be... the problem is, there will be tickets for sale. It's just they're going to cost like $10,000, you know? Like, that's really the problem. We need another coal mine here. Alright. We've got to research a salvaging factory. The best option in these types of events is knowing a guy who knows a guy. Exactly. So basically, over the next year, I got to start knowing a guy. I'll try my best. The scalping market for that is going to be insane. Oof. We got to get that beacon built. People hate me because we don't have it built. Yeah, start networking. Start networking. I'm still kicking myself that last year I didn't buy tickets to New York against Miami in MLS when I knew Messi was coming before all the scalpers did. The resale in those tickets were insane. I should have done that. People made so much money on that. Alright, we're going to build... Oh, we're not going to build. Okay, so let's get to 200. We need another logistics bay. And then... Oh, we need 50 prefabs. We need to start building some prefabs. Oh! And we need to build... the subsidized housing block. Oh my god. So let's get to 100. Okay.
Trust that the steward has a plan. Better times lie ahead.
So we need to build a subsidized housing block. Alright. I traveled from Porto to Lisbon to watch Messi as well. Sporting got matched with Barcelona in the Champions League, and I didn't want to miss the chance to watch Messi live. He was nearly in his 30 or even there already. Wanted to be able to say I saw Ronaldo and Messi live. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, I need to see Messi before he leaves MLS. Last year was tough because the game against New York he was injured for. So this season I might bite the bullet and maybe just buy those the expensive ticket. Here we go. Get us more coal. Now for this, okay, so we need to build this. 200 heat stamps, so we're gonna shake some people down for it. And then, okay, so we should be able to build it. We gotta build a skyway. Oh, we need... Do we have enough? Can we turn this off temporarily? 19 weeks. We should be able to build this very quickly. Yeah, 1 week. Alright. That shirt of yours is nice. I remember thinking the 2022 one was horrible, but this one is very minimalist. Nice. So this is a women's national team jersey from the 2015 Women's World Cup. Sometimes the women's team gets unique jerseys, and they're always so cool. So it's this, and it's got the like black stripe going down. I love this jersey. You know it's the women's national team jersey because unlike the men's team, we got some stars over here. It's always easy to tell which one is a women's national team jersey and which one is a men's national team jersey because a very, very important detail.
Institute has concluded its latest task and is ready.
Oh my god. Oh! Not good. So we lost one of the coal districts. Alright, so let's frost break ourselves another coal district. Wait, we have no, we haven't even expanded this one. Yeah, you just reminded me. Your women's national team does well. They do. They do. They are much better than our lousy men's national team. That's nice. Don't even know how good the Portuguese women's national team is, to be honest. I think they are starting to grow, though. Sporting Benfica and even Braga are investing more in women's football. Oh, nice. Excellent. True, the American women's team is very good. The men's team could learn something from them. And I'm not talking about discipline or determination, but rather hitting a 1 meter pass. Yeah. I totally agree with you on that one. See, the thing is, I think that I do kind of believe that our women's team could take the men's team to task, because the men's team is so disjointed. And I say that as somebody who was always very high on the U.S. men's national team. You know, like, oh, there's so much to root for. There's so much this. There's so much that. All right. There we go. We got the beacon. But not having enough passion is not, like, you just can't get behind that, you know? That is one thing our team never lacked before, was passion. And that's a hard thing to take, that you don't have enough passion. All right, we need an industrial district finally. So we want to build it away from people. So we'll start it over here. The men take football much more for granted nowadays. They easily make a living for life in a few years of playing. Women earn much less and need to work harder to keep their careers healthy. Yeah, absolutely, right? Like, you play an entire career in the women's game and you're not set for life. I think there is something to that. Oh boy, the city is changing. We started a family here. We bore children. We toiled against the hardships like everybody else. But now these icebloods, they walk around telling people what to do, what to think. What they spout, though, is utter folly. Against everything that made us, we will not have it. The fate of our children is at stake. We will chart the path for our city. Technocrats have formed in opposition of the icebloods. Okay, so with these guys, optimize research community action. The technocrats will preside over researchers to increase their efficiency and expedite research. And we could get maintenance optimization. Materials demand is decreased. Okay. Well, I remember when the Copa America was in the U.S., I thought, it's a South American tournament in the U.S. These guys are going to try put on a show. Man, why you got to bring up Panama? Why you got to bring up Panama? That was a disaster, right? And again, we had all of the Pulisic, Weston McKennie, all those guys. What happened? I mean, that's the thing is, also, it's one thing if these players are like, oh, we got to rest for our club season, and the results are happening. But the problem is they act like, oh, I'm too good for this, and at the same time, the results are awful. So, like, you can't act like you're too good for this when when what we watch on the field is crap. Oh, we did. No. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Let me get out of this. For this, I got to pause the game for a second. We lost to Panama in the Copa America, and it ended up knocking us out at the group stage. Not only did we lose to Panama then, a couple months ago, we lost in the semifinal of the CONCACAF Nations League to Panama. And Pulisic was out on the field for that game. And that's what pisses me off about him not playing in the Gold Cup, is that you would think if you a couple months ago just lost to Panama in the semifinal of the Nations League, you lost to them again, again meaning the Copa America a couple years ago, you just lost in the semifinal of the Nations League, there should be some passion in you that's like, I need to play the Gold Cup to set the record straight. but you sit it out, which says to me that game a couple months ago, that semifinal of the Nations League against Panama, you didn't care about that game either. You didn't care about that game, and that's why you lost. It's just crap. It's absolute crap. To be fair, Latin American national team players would give their life for that. Yeah, they would. Their sense of pride is immense. Exactly. You're absolutely right. Which is what pisses me off even more, that our players now feel this way about their national team. Where our teams in the past weren't like this. They cared. They might not have been the best players, but they cared about their national team. And that should be a baseline. Alright, we need... Wait, build one mechanized... I thought we did that. Oh, that one didn't count? Damn. Well, we could use another one. Yeah, okay, so now... Now I wish I had done the other option for this. You know what? Hold on, though. Can't we do a community... We have good relations. All right. Which, to be honest, the USA should also have. You guys are very patriotic. Yeah. Guess it will have to come from the talent you guys will start building now. Just give it a few years. No, we had that. When we had, like, the majority of our players playing in MLS, there was passion for the national team. It's this current generation that have all, like, been playing in Europe for most of their career. I feel like, honestly, it's because they're over in Europe and they're hearing from people like, you know, the CONCACAF Gold Cup, that tournament doesn't matter. Who cares? They're hearing that and they're like, yeah, that doesn't really matter. Who cares? It's like, what do you mean? Like, I care. I care about that. That's why there's no passion for it. And like, man, Pulisic should think, I'm the best product of my country in years. I should do the best to make history, but that takes work. Hold on, let's see what's going on here. Stuart, the first group of people from the fallen city has arrived at our beacon. 3 adolescents on the verge of exhaustion arrived hauling a sledge on which lay 2 sickly adults. Mom Pa's fever took a nasty turn. We'd lost all hope, but then we saw the beacon. Took turns dragging him day and night, said the eldest. The people of our city rushed to their aid. Donations of funds have poured in, and medics have lined up to volunteer their expertise. We should prepare infrastructure and clear instructions to support our people's desire to aid the newcomers. Yeah, let's ask for both. I mean, honestly, the thing is, like... until Pulisic proves otherwise, he's not the best player we've ever had. To me, it's a toss-up between Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan. And anybody who says otherwise, I'd say, watch Pulisic play for the national team and tell me he's the best player we've ever had. He's not. I don't care what he's done in Europe. He hasn't been that for the national team, so... To be honest, they probably think the competition is below them. I absolutely believe that's what they think. When they are already on the top of club football. Shit attitude, though. Someone proud would still give his all, though. Mexicans who played in Europe, yeah, would have that sense of pride and give their all. That's a great point. They absolutely did. Like Rafa Marquez, when he was the starting back for Barcelona, still came and played for Mexico with all of his heart. So yeah, there's no excuse for it. Stuart, technocrats representatives have come to your office. It was madness to vote in heat auctions, one said. If you continue with such nonsense, we will have to act. We implore you, repeal that law. Or if you are adamant about upholding it, at least further our vision of the city in a different area. Do you intend to listen to them? See, the thing is, if we repeal the heat auctions, it was the Ice Bloods that wanted that. So we're going to immediately get something like this with the Ice Bloods being pissed. I think we can appease them by researching machine-centric shifts. What you say makes sense, and I've heard some mention of it in South American teams. The players go to Europe, don't feel pressure from their home country, and come back arrogant, people feeling like stars. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, delicious. Yeah, I don't mean to disregard the votes there. I want to go with them, but I do know specifically that one I needed to do. But yeah, Barney, that's absolutely what's happening. And I feel like they go to Europe, and Europe is being like, well, that tournament doesn't really matter. And that's fair. Of course that tournament doesn't matter to them, because it's not your region. Why would you care about that tournament? It's the same way that... it's the same way that... Oh, hold on. Let me read this real quick. Yes, here we go. This is what we need. Shanties and furnaces still remain from when a community of hundreds supported these interconnected shafts along a deep coal vein. An outpost here could increase our supply by 400 coal. Yeah, so it's the same way that, like when it comes to the Euro Cup, I mean, obviously, like, I watched the Euro Cup. It's a great tournament. But I don't care who wins the Euro Cup. I have no connection to any European country. So I don't really have a horse in any race, right? So I'm not passionate about the Euro Cup, though I watch every single match because I have an unhealthy addiction to the sport. But I get why Europeans don't care about the Gold Cup. But the thing is, I care about it because that's the tournament my country plays in. And I don't understand how you can play for the U.S. and not care about the tournament that we play in. And I think that's the same for anybody around the world. I don't understand a Japanese player that wouldn't care about the Asian the Asian Cup, or like I don't understand a South African player that wouldn't care about the African Cup of Nations, right? Like that's your country's tournament. That's what you care about. And so when Pulisic and others are like, we don't need to play the Gold Cup, I don't understand that. I just don't. An awe-inspiring rock formation reaches toward the sky. Birds of prey nest on its top. Their screeches echo throughout the valley, reminding our scouts they are intruders here. Jesus. Okay. So now we're going to get some coal. Is it enough? I don't know. Oh, is this done? No, it's not done. So we get some cores, which wouldn't be bad, but oh, food and coal. Hell yeah, that's what we're doing. It's funny, in Brazil, Brazilians don't care as much about the Copa America as Argentines and Uruguayans. Really? That's surprising to me. I thought Brazilians really did. But if Brazil loses, it becomes a crisis. Yeah, like we despise the tournament, but we have to win. You know what? That would be fine to me. If there were U.S. players that were like, I hate this tournament, but I'm absolutely not going to lose it. Fine. Because that means you're going to come and you're going to play and you're going to play hard. Like, so that I can understand. But to sit out, to miss it. You know, like, remember Gareth Bale was like, when he was at odds with... Oh, shoot. We are gonna... 3 weeks, hold on. I'll finish that Gareth Bale comment in a minute. We need to build this, and we really need it anyway. 300 workforce. Where are we going to get that workforce from? Remember when Gareth Bale was at odds with Real Madrid, and he had that tweet that was like, here are my list of priorities. Wales, golf, Real Madrid. Now, I get he was at odds with Real Madrid, but him being at odds with Real Madrid is why golf was number 2. But I think it was very telling that Wales was number 1. Wales, a team that also doesn't really matter on the world scale, but that's his country, right? He cares about it. It doesn't matter that the team doesn't do well. That's what he cares about. And so I think that mentality is what's missing here. Copa America is well liked by Europeans, especially because a lot of our players play on their national team. Also because it sometimes turns into a clown fiesta. It's very fun to watch. The fights during the games and stuff. Yeah. Especially this last Copa America that was in the U.S. and the final in Miami, and fans were like sneaking into the ventilation shafts to get into the stadium. It was crazy. Yes, because part of the reasoning is like, we are fucking Brazil. We have to destroy each and every team, even if the tournament sucks. Exactly. But that's passion. Good, okay. Oh, and research machine-centric shifts. That's passion, right? I don't care about the game, but I absolutely need my country to win. To me, that's just a baseline of passion right there. And that's what the U.S. is missing at the moment. Yeah, I don't doubt Bale's love for the national team, to be honest. He is also one of those... I was mentioned, which was wasted because the national team didn't have enough quality. Yeah, a lot of Welsh players. They had Ramsey and him, basically. I feel like when you look at the list of Welsh players over the years, you're like, how is it this team is never good? Like, on paper, they have a very good team. And yet, their team just never does well. Hold on, let me try to... I gotta fix this here. Chile... Can we get... we can't get it higher than that. Okay. Not only that, they have England on their doorstep, which has a ton of well-known players, although they win jack shit nowadays. I would say they've won jack shit since 1966. Let's be honest about England. Nothing makes me happier than seeing English fans cry. No offense to any English people watching. Thank you for being here. To be honest, not having club tournaments in all the Americas is understandable, but not having a cup of all the Americas for national teams is insane. Yeah. I think... Oh, thank God, a warmer season. Honestly, yeah. I think an overall... America's tournament would benefit everybody. No, wait, aren't we supposed to be... Dense housing just at 4. Yeah, there we go. So we're getting some. Oh, okay, we have people now. So let's get the prefabs. Is there anything else? Okay. Don't worry, we Europeans as well. Last time they made finals of the Euro Cup, we were all Spanish fans here, except the English. Yeah. We can't stand the, it's coming, oh my God, it's coming home. I can't stand that either. Every single time. It's coming home. Man, it hasn't been home in a long, long time, so I don't know if it's really yours anymore. And two, let's be honest here. There are a lot of reports of the game in the Aztec culture. So, in terms of where it started, I don't think the English stole it from the Aztecs, but I think it kind of started simultaneously in multiple places. So, but don't tell that to an English person. They'll rip your head off. It's been so far from home for so long it doesn't even remember it. Yeah. It's almost like it doesn't live there anymore. In fact, for the US even more so, after all, they wouldn't just have Canada, Mexico, and sometimes Costa Rica. They'd have the South American Big Three and strong teams like Chile. Yeah, absolutely, right? That's what I'm saying. It would be... I think it would make for a much better tournament, to be honest with you. And then I think for the South American teams, the added media money that comes from the United States and even Mexico and Canada as well, I think it would make for a win-win for everybody involved. I guess, though, it does kind of, like, we still do have two separate federations. So they would have to work out who really owns the tournament. Or is it, like, co-owned? Alright, so now we need to do... oops. What are we researching? Oh, no, we're still researching.
Our scouts have surveyed...
Alright, what have they surveyed? A 25-foot vessel sits frozen, low in the ice. Its dinghy missing, no bodies on board. A brass stairwell descends to lower decks laden with coal. Not just the cargo hold, but also the bilge and some of the crew's quarters. It could be a stopover point for our expeditions. It should be easy enough to load the coal onto sleds across. Yeah. Let's take that. Ooh, yes. Here we go. A new herd has been sighted in this area, more animals than our younger hunters have ever seen in their lives. An outpost here could increase our food supply by 110. Look at that. And we still have 10 Frostland teams. So now, yeah, let's go get those cores. Oh, hell yeah. This is what we needed. Me too. It may be controversial, but for me, the Netherlands is much bigger for football than England. But, like, much. Yeah. Yeah, right? I mean, they're better... They've had a much better teams in the past. I love the UK, but in regards to football, their arrogance was always nonsensical, to be honest. Premier League was investing absurd amounts of money, and until Pep and Klopp got there, they won nothing. This is very true. This is very true. And and statistically, the majority of players in the league are not English. So they have good teams, but the vast majority of them aren't English. You had Real, Barca, and Sevilla basically dominating European football with some. Yeah. There's just so much arrogance. Ooh, okay. I also hate how angry British people get when you use the word soccer. And I always find it funny because the reason why Americans use the word soccer is because that's what British people told us the sport was called. Americans used to call the sport football because it came to us through But then the British were like, no, no, because they were calling it soccer. It's not, you know, it's called football, or it's called soccer, and that's what we started calling it. And then they lost to us in the opening game of the 1950 World Cup, and after that, they started hating the word soccer. All right, let's see. What do we have going on? Oh, so workforce requirement is decreased. Yeah, we really need this to go. Maybe we can give the laborers something. Oh, construct a building, a subsidized housing block. We are going to construct that. Okay. So yeah, I think we can let this ride now. All right, so we're going to let this ride. So anybody on Twitch who wants to vote, now's your chance. Going once, going twice. Let's go.
The votes are in. The measure passes.
All right. Oh. All right, we're going to take a quick break because I didn't realize it went to an ad break. So, be right back. All right, and we're back. My apologies on that one. I'm trying to take my breaks when the ad break starts, but I somehow missed that one. Well, not somehow. Still trying to figure that out. All right, let me see what I missed in chat here, because I feel like I'm behind now. And Pep did it with a blank check. Yeah, he did. And suspicious fair play, gray zone stuff. I think we can straight up just call it illegal stuff at this point. Klopp was an absolute boss, though, and I don't even like him. Yeah, he is an absolute boss. I do like Klopp, I have to say. I love Klopp. Now he's with Red Bull, and he's supposedly helping New York with scouting stuff. Still waiting to see the fruits of that labor, though. Copa de All Americas for clubs could work. I'd love that. You could create something like a South and North American conference, and the top four from each conference could face each other. How about even just at the moment, how about like an America's Super Cup? Why don't we do like a winner of the CONCACAF Champions Cup against the winner of the Copa Libertadores? That would be cool. Seeing Premier League clubs like Brighton being the biggest or second biggest spender in the whole of Europe is mind-boggling. Like, you give that money to a club like Lazio, Betis, Frankfurt, and they would be so much more competent. I know. Isn't it weird to see like Brighton, a club whose logo is a seagull, spending so much money? But to be honest, Brighton is doing a good job. It was worse watching Premier League clubs wasting dozens of millions on bad players while other leagues struggle with money and still beat them in Europe. Yeah. I mean, one thing you can say about the Premier League is they generate money. That they do. They generate the money. All right. So we need to build a subsidized housing block. So okay, so we are finally going to research a bio-waste hothouse. Is that we really need? So let's research that. We need to make a subsidized housing block, and we're going to do it. And we get how much from that? 20. Can we... I don't think we can expand any district anymore. Oh, we can. Oh, that's right. Perfect. So we'll build one more subsidized housing block. Disease weakens our workforce. Stuart, the poor conditions in the city take their toll on our people. Disease spreads. Some are so sick they are unable to work. If this continues, it will endanger our ability to sustain the city, as our workforce will be decimated. We must act. Okay, so now... There we go. Unfortunately, Mourinho didn't have the success Chelsea probably wanted abroad, but at least he did it with Inter. That team was something they would die for him. Chelsea managed to win 2 Champions Leagues, though. That Champions League in 2011 was insane. So, yeah, I'm actually a Chelsea fan, right? And here's what frustrates me to no end about Chelsea, is that at least under Abramovich, and I'm not criticizing Abramovich, he did put together a good team, but like the players ran the club, right? So look at this track record of managers. So look at Mourinho's second stint. His second stint, he, I believe he won the league, right? He wins the league. The players say they've lost confidence in him, and he's out. So in comes Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte, in his first season... Oh, yeah, so No, Mourinho didn't win the league, because the next season under Antonio Conte, Conte wins the league. The next season, Antonio Conte wins the FA Cup. And then suddenly the players lost confidence in him, and he's out. So 2 seasons, he wins the 2 biggest trophies in all of English football. So then comes Sarri. And what does Sarri do? That season, he was there for 1 season. That season, he won the Europa League. And that was the competition he had. He didn't crash out of Champions League and then go to Europa League. He started in Europa League. He won Europa League. And he finished 3rd in the league. But remember, that was the season that Manchester City and Liverpool both finished with a record high points for a season. So, in order for Sarri to finish higher than 3rd, he would have had to have a record-breaking season. And then the players lose confidence in him, and he's out. I mean, it's insane to me that, like, Chelsea was basically just run by the players, and we lost some really good coaches because of it. Perhaps nowadays, you have too much power, to be honest. That's a problem everywhere, I would say. And in the end, it's easier to get rid of the coach than the players. Yeah, sad reality. I think you're absolutely right. That's the problem. I really like Conte, but to be honest, he's a bit problematic, even more than Mourinho, I feel. His record isn't favorable, although I agree Chelsea is a bit suspicious on that as well. Yeah, Conte has had some troubles since leaving Chelsea, but if you go back in time, like before any of that happened, that moment that he was at Chelsea, there's absolutely no reason to push him out. And then in comes Sarri, and there's absolutely no reason to push him out. Like, what more do you want to do? What more can you do? I think that's why the coach after Sarri was Frank Lampard. Because after that point, what manager would want to take us? You win and you still get fired. So, you know, the thanks for the for the Cicino memes were hilarious. So, yeah, maybe it was all worth it for that. Stewart, a woman from a recent wave of newcomers has raised concerns about conditions in the Beacon outpost. Now, I'm not one to sound ungrateful, but there's people getting sick on the way here from things entirely preventable, she said. Ain't suggesting a top-story penthouse or nothing, but something to keep the wind out of the shelters. That's ridiculous, another newcomer retorted. It's not like they're sleeping in puddles of pneumonia. I made the trek all the way here, and I'm just fine. Yeah, let's improve the Beacon outpost. We need trust. Oh man, it's 3:21 a.m. here. Oh, that's true. I always forget about time differences in Europe. Gotta go to sleep. Thanks for the company. Yeah, thank you for the company. It's great to see you. Thanks for the follow. I'll be back on again on Monday with some Victoria 3, so maybe I'll catch you then. So thanks for sticking around and chatting. Get some sleep. It's late. Okay, so we got more people coming. So we got more people coming in like 20 weeks. So I actually think maybe we build
in another blank spot on the map.
I think maybe we just build another housing district. So I missed the ad break last time. I thought it's supposed to like alert me. I don't know why or what I can do. I guess I just gotta check it every now and then. Still figuring it out. First affiliate stream. Oh, so I want to build a hub. Although there's only 8 weeks left here. I think maybe I'll just let this one ride out. And then we'll build this one, but we're getting dangerously close. We need to start switching over to oil. Yeah, let's connect this trail and start collecting some oil. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Oh, I still gotta... Ah, we got the biowaste hothouse. That actually takes a priority right now.
And is ready for its next priority.
Oh, we need 80... and nightmares. And Stuart, the first incomers from the fallen city have told shocking tales about their experiences. It seems in their city's last days, leaders determined overpopulation was to blame. They let people freeze or starve and neglected the ill in a twisted attempt to reduce their numbers. Outraged by this cruelty, our people have added to our mission of vow to avoid deaths and cure the ill. They've also floated ideas to help our incoming guests process their past trauma. So objectives to limit deaths and heal the sick and injured have been added to the Beacon of Hope. So tension is decreased or trust rises. We'll take trust. So let's get that. We need 80 for... Okay, there we go. So we're going to get 77 food. Yeah, so that'll be good. So build us that. Ooh, material... Oh, we lost the materials district. Okay. $40 heat stamps. Alright, what else can we do here? Oh, contagion prevention. Yeah, disease is decreased. We kind of need that. Right? Let me look real quick at what disease is. Yeah, we got a lot of crime. Oh, disease is absent. We've got notable crime. Actually, hold on. What we could use right now is more so the community service. Expedition support. Ooh, or the +1 temperature level in housing districts. I don't know. Exploration time is slightly decreased. We'll do that. We'll do that because everything is going to be done through exploration now. I think that we can get this by letting it ride. Okay. I think we're going to go straight to the vote on this one. So, anybody on Twitch who wants to vote, now's your chance. So, going once, going twice. Let's do this, said Cow.
Hear ye, hear ye. The proposed law has been approved.
Hear ye, hear ye. Excellent. Alright, we did it. We got that. So...
Attention, citizens. A new law is in effect.
Oh, what are we doing? We can turn this back on. Well, actually, yeah, we can't. Nope, that's turned... I thought that was turned off for population. It's not. So let's research... Oh, not enough heat stamps for anything. Wait, what? How much heat stamps does it cost to... Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so we need to do the generator upgrade here. We're going to do oil pumps. I don't know. I want to lean into the ice bloods. Oil is more efficient. But with increased efficiency. I always hate this decision. I always hate this decision. Well, we're going to lean into our factions. Okay, we'll do adaptive pumps. It's probably a mistake. I feel like it is a mistake, but... Now, we got a lot of stuff down here, so... Let's get these prefabs. It's going to have increased disease, but whatever. Because we need to come down here for the oil anyway. So let's frost break down there. Oh, and materials. We need materials. Alright, so let's build that, and then we can frost break. No. There we go. Ooh. And we lost the coal. Nothing lost. Stuart, our biowaste hothouse has begun cooperating with people who forage for food additives in the Frostland. On top of their regular duties, they provide it with leaves, animal carcasses, and feces in order to enrich its compost. This will no doubt increase our food output. Excellent. Alright, well, we've got 65 weeks. How long is this going to take? 10 weeks. Okay. We need 25 Frostland teams. Oh, what's going on up here? The remains of a dirigible lie scattered between two snowdrifts, its cabin half buried in the center of the wreckage. Our scouts inspected the cabin and found no room for a pilot, nor any living quarters. They did not recognize the foreign writing on its brass plates. Though the machine's mechanisms are beyond our scouts' understanding, they recognize a salvageable core in the engine. So we could take that. Let's just see what everything else is. A crash wagon lies in the snow, its contents already looted, a woman frozen inside the cabin. The small diary in her pocket tells of how she stole the wagon and was hoping to sell its cargo for materials to Hamcut's Heights. The last line reads, "I just wanted a better life for the baby." From the coordinates in the diary, our scouts can discern a rough direction she traveled from. Ooh, we can get coal there. Our scouts pass a group of jolly-faced hunters, as they later describe as having plenty of meat on their bones. In exchange for a spare heat lamp, the hunters revealed some details about their hunting grounds. A field full of lichen and moss where huge herds graze. Note the bearing. Alright, we need to go for this coal. That's what we need above anything else.
Remember,
So that's what we'll do.
Lamp maintained. It might just save your life.
Alright. Ah, so this is online now. That's good. Alright, let's expand it. Oh yeah, okay, because this is online now. And then let's build... no, not the industrial. Let's build the mechanized sawmill. Can we build the salvaging factory? 180 heat stamps. Let's hit somebody up for money. There we go. There we go. Ooh. Okay. And now... So let's Frostbreak there. So in 2 weeks we're going to get more people. Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on. What are we doing? We can oh, what? Let's Frostbreak those two areas because I want it touching that district. Ooh boy. Alright, Stuart, the technocrats have been growing skeptical towards the direction you are leading the city. Now they've decided to protest. This city is changing, and for the worse. We present this list of demands. Tend to them and we will disperse, said one of their leaders. But if you refuse to change course on those, let us strive for equality, so all can live with dignity. They will keep protesting until you respect their demand, further their vision of the city, or force them to disperse. So what's their demands? Oh, God. Come on. So we gotta demolish the buy-await hothouse so that everybody starves? No. Repeal the heat auctions? No. Ugh. Research mandatory crowding. Or research all due maintenance. Or, well, I mean, and research all due maintenance. Well, we can research these things. Why not? I wonder if I have enough to get the guard enforcers. If I can get everybody on board, I can get it. Let's go for it. Let's try it. Let's try it. We'll open this up to Twitch. Anybody out there who wants to vote? Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. So the foragers... construct a build. Yeah, we can construct another biowaste hothouse. Why not? The machinists construct a mechanized sawmill. Sure, we'll do that. We could use it, and this should. Ooh, this should get it for us. All right. So anybody else on Twitch who wants to vote? Now's your chance. Going once, going twice. Let's do it.
The delegates have spoken.
All right.
Law takes effect.
So now we need to get the guard towers.
Attention, citizens. A new law is in effect.
Okay. Ooh. We got a lot of people on that one. Yikes. Alright, so let's upgrade that. Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot of people there. Oh, 40 heat stamps. So let's do this. So we're gonna get these prefabs because then we can turn this over to goods. Yeah, let's not. Okay. Oh, and let's build... the extraction district.
Has proposed a new idea.
Okay, so let's do all research, all do maintenance. So materials demand is decreased efficiency. Okay. Materials demand is significantly decreased. All right. Oh, we need 50. We could shake people down, but it's just, yeah. Alright. I need another drink. We're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back. 60 seconds. All right, and we're back. And we're back. All right. So, what do we need here? Okay. Oops, no, we don't want that. So we have... Okay, so we got this district up again. We really could use some money.
A new territory has been charted.
So let's expand. And can we build another, or not another, but a new dust coal mine? Yes, we can. So do that. The tracks here are still visible where a large group of wagons stopped for at least several weeks. From the tracks, our scouts estimate that many have been riding in the vehicles. The depth of the tread implies the wagons were fully loaded with heavy materials. They left nothing behind except a few unmarked graves by a shrine made of snow dedicated to an idol carved from ice. Trace where they came from. A large steam-powered sleigh sits lodged in a crevasse, a unique model. Its silver body and red and green trimming still retaining their luster. It is empty except for a huge sack of coal and a silver bell on the driver's seat. The youngest scout insists that it makes a beautiful sound, but no one else can hear it. The boy's a bit touched. Always going on about elves and other nonsense, said the expedition commander. But if the bell gives him comfort, who are we to judge? Oh yeah, take that coal. Ah man, we need more places for it to... We need more places to store it. Yeah, build another one right there. Okay. Now what? So we need to get... Oh. No, we need to get this housing situation figured out. So there's 20. Another 20. All right. Nope, not right there. All right. Protests begin collapsing. Ah, okay. Your relations with the technocrats have improved enough that they don't feel inclined to protest anymore. Thank God. So that should get us down to 73.
Please be patient until they are resolved.
Little Joey's been coughing all night. His forehead's as hot as the generator. It's them Turners, I know it's them. They got that new flu. And here they are strolling about the neighborhood, carrying on with their business. They're killing people, that's what they're doing. Oh, please, Lord Almighty, I can't stand to lose another child. Someone's got to get through to them. The lack of law regulating contagion prevention is causing tension to rise throughout the city. Okay. Well, we don't need to do that right now. Yeah, the contagion prevention actually would be good. We don't want to increase shelter demand. Disease is decreased. I think we'll do that. So I'll open up the vote to anybody on Twitch right now. So we can make a promise to the laborers. Oh, construct a subsidized housing block? Yeah, we are going to be doing that. All right. So we got to let this go to vote now. So if there's anybody on Twitch who wants to vote, now's your chance. Going once, going twice. Let's go.
Hear ye, hear ye. The votes are in. The measure passes.
The measure passes.
The delegates have reached a decision.
All right.
A new law takes hold.
So,
The Research Institute is ready to present its latest breakthrough.
oh. So we need to build a couple things. We need to build... Oh, the adaptive pumps. We need to build that, but actually no, we need to build a mechanized sawmill here. And biowaste hothouse. But we can't do that right now. But we've also got to house citizens. So we need 40 heat stamps. Let's speed it up till we get to 40. So let's build another housing district. Right there. So that'll get us 20.
Are you listening?
Let's raise funds. And we're going to build a subsidized housing block. So that'll cover us for housing. So that'll cover that. We need to build the biowaste hothouse. Alright, so there's all our promises. Now we need hospitals. We need hospitals. So we're going to research the hospital. Where is it? Where is it? It's the teaching hospital. Disease is only slightly decreased. Yeah, not great options all around. And it costs 25 a week. They all cost 25 a week. Research speed will be increased. Population growth is slightly increased. We don't need that. So we might as well take research speed being increased. So to build 3 hospitals is going to take us, it's going to cost us 75 a week. All right, we've got to get goods going. Well, actually, yeah, let's get that adaptive pump underway. We're going to need that because this is not going to stay there forever. Yeah, we've only got 32 weeks of that left.
Remember
Okay.
to make sure your contagion badge is visible at all times.
All right. So we've got all the promises kept, so that's always good. All right. So we've got tons of people. We've got all this stuff going. What we really just need is to get the goods. We need to get the goods. That's what we need. We need the goods. We need more industrial districts. Alright, we're going to Frostbreak then. You know, we've got some Frostland teams to do stuff too. Yeah, okay, we need to upgrade. Wait, can't we,
The delegates
yeah,
have
we can
proposed
expand
a
that
new
one.
law for the council's consideration.
We can expand that one. Extreme disease and extreme crime. If we could find... Well, let's go here. Actually, wait. Cancel the expedition. Why can I not? Why can I not connect this anywhere? Yeah, I guess I need to explore this so I have a place to go, right? All right. Hey Barney, do you agree or disagree? Every bald man should have a beard. I don't know though. When you're bald, it is like when you have hair, the beard just kind of continues. It's like a loop. You got a loop going. When you're bald, where's the loop? You're missing the loop. So I can see why somebody who's bald wouldn't want the beard. Now some people make it work. You know, you brought up Tim Howard before. Tim Howard's been a bald with a beard for a while. So I think it's fair play either way, because I could understand if you were bald not wanting the beard.
Steward.
Ooh, what's this? Stuart, the situation in housing districts is untenable. People are dying in droves, often taken in their sleep. First it was my wife. She always had a fragile constitution, my poor Helen. Then my eldest. Now I have only my Lottie left, said a man in mourning clothes. Please, Stuart, don't forsake us. Oh, wait, hold on. How come... Oh, livable. Oh, okay, up to Chile. Yeah, we could do that. We could get things up to Chile. Why? What is it right now? Oh. Well, this isn't good. How do I do this? My dream was to have a beard like Grant or Pedro, the second from Brazil. I think there is something cool, though, about the bald and the beard, right? Because I think it is kind of like that point where the beard starts. Now that I think about it. That point when you're bald where the beard starts and that kind of fresh line right there. There's something kind of cool about that. I don't know. I think it can go either way. Alright, materials demand is significantly decreased. I think we can just let this one go. We're at 34. Alright, so we're going to let this one go. So anybody on Twitch who wants to vote, now's your chance. Going once. Going twice. Here we go. Are we gonna get it? Ooh, just barely.
The measure
The measure passes.
Take note. A new rule enters into force.
Ooh. Speaking of soccer, the women's team in the area, New Jersey, New York, Gotham, is having themselves a game right now. Alright, let's build ourselves another industrial district. And but Phil from Hangover, your beard is really good. Let me tell you something. When oh man, was it when the first Hangover movie came out on video, I was working at Blockbuster at the time. And oh man, let me tell you, was it a thing? Everybody came in, they were like, oh my god, like the cover, oh my god, is that you? Is that you? I'm like, yeah, yep, that's me. That's me. Alright, we need this hospital. We absolutely need this hospital. But we gotta build like 3 of them. Although, ooh, you know, I build that, but we're about to lose a bunch of heat stamps. You know what's funny is when my daughter, who's my first kid, was an infant. Oh, man. The first Halloween we had, I'd said to my wife, I was like, oh my god, I have to be able to put her in a carrier in the front of me so I could be Phil from The Hangover. It'll complete it. I was like, and this is going to be the only time in my life when I'll be able to do it, because then after today, after this Halloween, she'll be too old. And she was like, no, you're not using our daughter as a prop. And I was like, oh, come on. But hey, the movie is kind of good. Yeah, at least the first 2 movies. Yeah, the first 2 movies are good. I actually have never seen the third one. I need to watch it. I haven't missed it for any like intentional reason. I just haven't seen it. So wait, so we have the. Okay, hold on here. Scrubbing a blanket clean. One more scrub and clean at last, ready to wrap a shivering babe or exhausted mum. Thought my laboring days were done, but seems there's strength in these old bones yet. The chance to help out at the hospital got me off the rocking chair, and I don't intend to go back. People find meaning in the effort to aid sick incomers. Okay. So, yeah, we need to get this oil. And we need to get that stuff there, because we have the adaptive pumps, right? Yeah. Boiling tension. Stuart, tensions have risen to a fever pitch and threaten to tear the city apart. Angry mobs swarm the streets, and the city descends into a violent free-for-all. The people have lost faith that your rule can solve the many problems that plague us. The city spirals into chaos. If we do not calm tension soon and restore order, this will be the end.
Stealing fuel is a capital offense. Heat theft is murder.
Heat theft. is murder. Can we get you guys?
Stuart, you hear us, Stuart?
Why is everybody?
The delegates have gathered and will consider the steward's
We are calling
agenda.
you, Stuart.
Alright, let's grant you an agenda. What is it you want? Mandatory school. Yeah, I don't want this one to pass. What can I get the forgers to vote against it? The machinists. Well, construct a building, a blasting coal mine. I don't really have anywhere to build one. A fracturing pump jack. Alright, yeah, let's do it. Alright, we're gonna let this one go to vote here. So, anybody on Twitch who wants to vote on this, now's your chance. Going once, going twice. Let's do it.
Hear ye, hear ye. The proposed law has been rejected.
Excellent. That's what I was hoping for on that. Alright, we've got to get people housed here.
Stuart.
Stuart, Stuart,
Stuart.
Stuart, Stuart. Stuart, Stuart.
Stuart.
Oh, man. And how long is it going to take you guys? This is usually how our Friday night Frostpunks end. In failure. Oh, okay, so let's build. What do we need? We need 40 heat stamps. Alright. So build us that for oil. Alright, let's wait till we have more money for that. So get that done. Cold cuts. Stuart, the low temperatures in the work districts are taking a toll on our citizens. Even those working indoors are reporting frostbite and losing fingers. Wear gloves, says management. Well, have you ever tried doing precision welding while wearing gloves? Said a disgruntled worker. Bleeding tossers. What we need is warmth, or we'll keep dropping like flies. What should we do? Yeah, we'll promise that, because we're gonna possibly get it.
Our scouts.
Angry foragers grow more radical. Stuart, the foragers have grown deeply unhappy with your rule. Community leaders now openly urge foragers to join the Icebloods, arguing that as part of a radical organization, they will be better able to protect their interests. If nothing is done to address this situation, many angry foragers will join the Icebloods and push for the faction to take action against you. Let's see. Yeah, join the Icebloods. I would love it if you did. Oil found. We have finally found oil. Now we can access and research all oil-related buildings and use them for the city's benefits. So, let's fix that. So let's turn that on.
From all corners of the city, the council gathers.
Yeah, I guess we'll use that. All right. Promise kept. Okay. So that'll get us 25. Means we still need 6. All right. Well, somehow the tension crisis was averted. I don't know how. All right. So we're going to do one last break and come back and finish this out. So bathroom break. I'll be back in 60 seconds. All right. And we're back. So let's see what this is about. Technocrats protest infectious badge. Stuart, the Technocrats have begun a series of protests in this district. Lines of identically clad protesters cordon off crucial infrastructure, controlling access. Hold on, let me click this. While they angrily call out the Ice Bloods and you. Our society must progress past mere survival. We need a new vision and rules to allow us to thrive. Our calculations are clear. We have to end the stagnation of infectious badge, they shout. The technocrats refuse to stop their disruptions until demands are met. What should we do? Infectious badge. Maybe, yeah, we'll do research, food hoarding, inspectorate, and yeah, we're gonna have to do this. All right, we'll do that. So, well, hold on. We'll come back to that because we need to connect these trails. Yeah, here we go. This is what I thought. So we need 75 heat stamps.
Hear us, Steward.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys, but we just we're gonna die if we don't do this. Alright, so you guys get that. What's going on here? A transport lies on its side, its front curved around a boulder, its cargo of coal spilled into the snow. The boulder is lined with explosives, but it seems the fuses failed in the cold. By the carriage, frozen pools of blood surround a ring of men, most dressed in furs. The exception is a man in a gray uniform, coal soot in his beard, a sword still in his hands. Yeah, I mean, take the coal. We need that coal. What else are we gonna do? So we've got 10 Frostland teams. Oh no, we need 25 for that. We can go for cores. Ooh, or more coal. Let's do that. Alright. Ooh, whoops.
Mistakes are part of the learning process.
It's the fracturing pump jack. Alright, let's go for that. Alright, one more subsidized housing block, and that'll house everybody. Oh! Didn't realize this was done. Alright, let's just do that. That will get us the expanded part of that district. We also need to... Alright, let's do that, because we got to build that up at some point. So how long until that coal gets to us? Oh, yeah, might as well take that. All right. Oh boy. I think we're near the end here. Unfortunately, I think we are nearing the end, my friends. Boy. Waning trust. Stuart, the people no longer trust you. If the situation doesn't improve, the council will demand a vote of confidence, disputing your leadership. If you fail to vote, it will end your rule. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to do free essentials here. Alright, we'll open this up to Twitch. I think we can let this ride. So, anybody on Twitch who wants to vote, you can do so. Just connect the Frostpunk 2 companion there. I'm about to let it go to vote, so if you want to vote, now's the time. Going once, going twice. Here we go. Oof. By 2 votes. Okay. Alright, we got that. Oh, man. Alright.
Take note. A new rule enters into force.
Alright, well... we got no more coal there. Oh, we need 30 guard squads for that. Eek. Okay. Oh, well now we can frost break around here. Yeah, this should be enough for us. Alright, so we can get that going. Oh, you know, we never expanded this stuff. What was I doing? What was I doing? So that'll get us 10 more Frostland teams. Oh, God. Technocrats take over the expanded industrial district. Stuart, the Technocrats' protests are gaining ground and have reached another district. Its partisans have built barricades to control the streets and block any movement to and from the expanded industrial district. It is not looking good, my friends. It is not looking good. Everything was good for typical Frostpunk. It seemed like things were fine, and then everything took a drastic turn. Boiling tension. Stuart, tensions have risen to a fever pitch and threaten to tear the city apart. Angry mobs swarm the streets, and the city descends into a violent free-for-all. The people have lost faith that your rule can solve the many problems that plague us. The city spirals into chaos. If we do not calm tension soon and restore order, this will be the end.
This week's free essential allocation is available for collection at your assigned city warehouse.
At least that guy's in good spirits. Well, we're going to try to salvage this, but I'm not sure about it. Alright, well, can we build another hospital? Oof. Actually, no, we don't want to do that. We don't, we're losing heat stamps.
Steward!
Oh. Stuart, the generator stress levels are running dangerously high. We have been I forgot we had it in overdrive. We have been pushing it in overdrive for a long time now. If we do not let it cool off and rest, the pipes will burst and the core may leak or melt down. Repairing it will require significant resources, not to mention the inevitable human casualties. Yeah. Turn it off. Alright. Well, at least the temperature is going to go up a little bit.
The council has convened and awaits the steward's proposal.
Alright, I mean, I don't think there's anything else we have to pass now. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, there's always this stuff. But everybody hates me. There's absolutely no way I'm going to get any of that passed. Four weeks left. Yeah, like 5 days on that. Oh, is this done over here? Yes, it is. Alright, get that built. That'll give us something.
Citizens, our
Okay, so
researchers
research,
have completed
food,
their
hoarding,
latest
inspectorate. A radical idea. Task force that tracks down food hoarders and black marketeers and offers bounties to citizens denouncing them. Hunger is decreased, but we lose heat stamps. Well, we made a promise. We made a promise. We made a promise, Mr. Frodo, to inspect people for hoarding food. Oh, we've got tons and tons. Alright, so that's still going. Alright, what's going on over here? A vast ice cave adorned with translucent icicles that refract sunlight. The mesmerizing kaleidoscope effect it creates is reminiscent of stained glass windows. Ooh, yeah. Take the coal, take the coal. Oh, do we need that coal? We need that coal, coal. Oh, we need that coal. Everybody needs that coal. Gotta get that coal. Let me get that coal. Why am I singing the thong song for getting coal? I don't know. Maybe because I'm on the verge of getting booted from my city, and what does one do when they're about to get booted from the city? They sing the thong song themed around coal. I mean, it just seems like a good idea at the time. I'm honestly surprised we've actually made it this far so far. Oh, that's done. Got 7 weeks of oil left. There's gotta be somewhere we can go here. So launch an expedition there. Wait, what's happening? Aren't we connecting? Oh, yeah. Hold on. Oh, yeah, we needed 100.
blue headband. Vanalia.
We're losing heat stamps now. Oh, boy. Technocrats take over expanded food district. Stuart, the Technocrats' protests have spread to another district. Some of their most radical members use the opportunity to sack the local biowaste hothouse. We never wanted this, screamed the angry crowd, and yet the Stuart had it built. With our resources and our labor. The biowaste hothouse? You guys are gonna starve to death. Like, what the hell? Set on fire amidst cries of joy, the biowaste hothouse soon collapsed. Man. And now everybody's pissed. And we're losing heat stamps. Maybe we could turn off. Oh no, that's the housing block. No, that's the teaching house. No. Yeah. I thought this... Oh, newcomers arrived. We are screwed. Well, I think this is the end of our run tonight. I think we're cooked here. Oh boy. Well, it was a good one tonight. We got pretty far. We got farther than I think we normally do. So that was pretty good. So, we had a good run tonight. A good Friday the 13th edition of Friday Night Frostpunk. So that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody who watched the first affiliate stream I had. And the stream where I got to 50 followers. Thank you very much. So, I'm going to be on again, let's see, on Monday. So Monday I'll have the 2 sessions. The afternoon session for Victoria 3. And then the evening session for Victoria 3 as well. If you're on Twitch, we're actually going to do a raid. We're going to raid into a very very good streamer I know who's playing Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. Yeah. So we're going to check that out. So other than that, yeah. Thank you to everybody for watching tonight. And if you haven't already, consider giving me a follow on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube. And you'll get alerted to the next time I'm on. So, if you're on YouTube, that'll be goodbye for tonight. If you're on Twitch, we're going to raid over. And as always, be awesome. All right. I'll see you guys over on the raid.